What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Frozen 2. Hey, before you watch this review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you would like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Dare I say that I actually enjoyed this sequel way more than its predecessor 6 years ago, but I just find Frozen 2 to be a bit more compelling. The journey and what the characters have to accomplish seem more substantive. It has to do with legacy and correcting the wrongs of the past, and we get to know more of who all these characters are and what they're made of. But this movie is not without its downsides, one of which is the lack of, or you could even say the absence of, a strong villain. This is not a perfect sequel by a long shot. Voice starring Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, and Josh Gad, directed by Jennifer Lee and Chris Buck, featuring new songs by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez. In Frozen 2, a mysterious sound calls out for Elsa, who along with Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, and Sven must venture on a dangerous but remarkable journey far from Arendelle in order to help Elsa find answers about her past. Elsa has always long feared that her powers may be a bit too much for the world, but this time she can only hope that they are enough. Along this quest, she also encounters a mythical water spirit that takes the form of a horse called Nock, who uses the power of the ocean to guard the secrets of the enchanting magical forest. One thing that's definitely obvious about this sequel is that they crank up the comedy up a notch. Frozen 2 is twice as funny as the first movie. We all know that Olaf is the comic relief, but here, it's like he got an extra hilarity injection boost. And of course, thankfully, Josh Gad rises to the occasion as always. There's also a segment of Kristoff and Sven singing the song that I guarantee will have you rolling on the floor. Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that when it comes to the comedy, Frozen 2 is like a gift that keeps on giving. Every one of them hits the mark, and every one of them lands. As expected, Frozen 2 follows one of the usual formulas about sequels, which is to separate the key characters, split them apart for a bit. Kristoff and Sven dealing with the fact that Kristoff sucks at proposing. Elsa, of course, being the martyr, wanting to carry the weight of the world on her own. And then the pairing of Anna and Olaf as they navigate their way back to Elsa. Now, there are two big themes that this movie tried to push for: fear of changes and doing the next right thing, whatever that may be. But as far as the former goes, other than Kristoff wanting for his and Anna's relationship to move on to the next step, the story doesn't really have anything solid to address the fear of changes, despite Olaf singing his heart out about it. Toy Story 4 earlier this year does a better job of getting that point across. Now, animation-wise, do I really need to go extensively about this? I mean, just on the trailer alone, you could see how pristine and how much more incredible the animation has gotten over the last 6 years since the first movie. Frozen 2 has endless supply of sequences that will take your breath away, especially whenever Elsa rides that visually stunning horse. Just absolutely glorious. So in terms of Frozen 2's animation, Disney has outdone itself once again. So how's the music in this one? Well, with the exception of Kristoff's song Lost in the Woods, unfortunately most of the new songs in this Frozen 2 are just not that memorable. You and I remember Let It Go from the first movie became a powerhouse cultural phenomenon. Every artist covered it. Every YouTuber parodied it. Let It Go kept playing on the airwaves for months on end. Kind of like how it was when Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On from Titanic movie came out. Remember that one? Man, it was crazy. They kept playing that song everywhere, every time. Sadly, I just don't see the same fortune or the same impact happening with the songs in the sequel. They're okay enough to move the story forward, but they're not catchy enough to move a person's soul. As I implied earlier, the lack of, or rather, the absence of a clear, strong villain does kind of bother me with this movie. Maybe I'm alone on this, but to not have Elsa and Anna stand up to or fight against something or someone other than fragments of the past just feels bland. It's definitely a missed opportunity on Frozen 2's part. So again, overall, Frozen 2 is not a perfect sequel, but I'd be lying to you if I said that I did not have fun watching it.